Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to J is for Justice. We are going to get a live update in about 48 minutes from the police on Donelo Cavalcante. I think I've got that down. Cavalcante. And right now we have Chester County Law Enforcement Dispatch, and I also have the flight radar. The police helicopter was just over this creek, can't remember the name of it now, Brandywine Creek, and they went back to fuel up. So we've got it right. We're in the same spot, it looks like, that they were last night. Pickle! Oh my gosh, a blast from the past. What's up, Pickle? Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Hello, Miss Carrie. It's great to see you too. And Janice, look at you. I'm seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time, so pardon my excitement. I'm a little excited. All right, let's get this scanner audio on for you guys. I don't know.
Aldi 3205.
I don't know what's going down, but
100 feet away from the store.
There's other calls, obviously, but I'm just going to play this, and then our update will be coming, so I'll be in and out. We're waiting for the police helicopter to come back to this area. They're still searching that same vicinity that they were in last night near Pocopson and the Brandywine Creek. So we have an update coming at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, it is 2:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Craig says Peach Fuzz was a big hit all weekend. I am so happy to hear that. You actually made it. That is so awesome. Did you make it virgin or with the vodka or both? Inquiring minds want to know. Janice, I hope that you've had a great Labor Day weekend and you're feeling up to par. So I do have that audio going. Right now it's quiet. So I don't know what we will hear, but we have flight radar up on the screen. We have scanner audio in the background, and we're hoping that they're catching or have caught this mofo. Now, I don't know, because the helicopter was just out right before I went live. And like I said, they needed to stand down and refuel. So hopefully they'll come back out.
JB, it's we have to stand down.
Hello, Gail. Vodka and a little sugar. That is awesome. I'm so glad you made it, Craig. My dad would be smiling down from heaven. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Craig. By the way, that's my son's name, which is very rare these days. You don't see a lot of Craigs. So I'm partial to your name as well. PD, he followed the creeks to bigger creeks and to Brandywine Creek and onto a train. He's gone. Wow, you think he got hopped on a train? That is terrifying. Well, listen, Janice Burns, don't get your ass in trouble now. Concerned citizen says he deserves to get away at this point. He is very dangerous. You know, I mean, this really isn't.
Yeah, 33418. RBC for Fox.
This really isn't a laughing matter, though. I mean, for real. This guy is scary. He stabbed his girlfriend over 30 times in front of her children. You don't get any more terrifying and monstrous than that.
426.
Well, don't y'all people at work get in trouble
In
now.
front of 1010 Knott Road for deceased fawn on the shoulder and keep contact.
Oh, somebody hit a fawn. I'm going to cry. So, I mean, these are the kinds of calls they get in this area. I don't know, Janice. Didn't you say last time you had to hide your phone or something? Or maybe that wasn't you. And he has nothing to lose. Yes, over 30 times. I know, concerned. I know you don't think he should get away. I get it, though. It's like, how can they not catch him? They have all this manpower, all this equipment, all of
I'm out of the far here. Roll.
all this technology, and it's like
Adam 4, okay.
he's just cruising around in the botanical gardens where people go and visit. So do we think that this update is that they have caught him or no? We should do a poll. For the people that are just joining, this is Chester County Law Enforcement Dispatch. We're listening to in the background, and we have the flight radar up, but right now the copter is refueling. It must have gotten some advice from Eagle 8. What was I looking up? Our update is going to be in about 44 minutes, guys. 44 minutes. Oh, yeah, the poll.
6-1 car status.
Just joining, this is Chester.
Same one. We're
We only have
following up the
52
challenge.
people here. That is so odd. Did you guys get notifications? Put a 1 in chat if you got a notification. Put a 2 if you did not.
Unit 67050.
I put, do you think they finally caught Donelo and it changed it to Donald?
Unit 7.
Okay, go ahead and get your votes in.
Road 4. 2 vehicles blocking. Colors in a green Subaru Forester, and the other vehicle is a white.
I almost feel like they have to give an update at this point, whether they caught him or not.
Yeah, okay.
Because, I mean, these residents have got to be fed up. Crime solver? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy is speaking at the presser. He's running the presser. I mean, what is he doing? Swinging from trees? Out in the fucking, excuse my language, but out in the forest? Is he swinging from limb to limb? You guys did not get them. That's so janky. But we are live on Facebook, guys. All the YouTubers, say hello to the Facebookers. Our Facebookers are few and far between, so I'm very grateful. If you guys watch on Facebook, I'm trying to get the views up so I can monetize over there. I'm not monetized on Facebook, and I've had like my Facebook as long as I've had my podcast, and I've just never focused on it much. So if you want to catch me over on Facebook, feel free. Nerdy Birdie, hello. It looks like some of you did get them, though. First to the poll. Let me know what you think. Hello, Marie. How are you today? It's hump day. So I pushed our premiere back on the Grady Judd update to 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm having a premiere drop at 4 p.m. I moved our live about Koberger to Friday. We're going to do Friday live, and we're going to talk about this DNA. It's a lot to unpack. I don't know if it's just confusing for me or if it's confusing for a lot of people, but DNA and genealogy is like in my brain, it's like a spider web. And that spider web just keeps getting like cloudier and cloudier, like thicker and thicker. And it just, that's what it feels like. Like I just can't comprehend it. So I tried, and I'm doing more research because I want to know what I'm talking about. You know, I don't want to bring you guys half-ass information. So we moved that to Friday. So that's going to be awesome. Because I'm trying to figure out between the FBI and the genealogists if they both knew there was a loophole or what. That's the question of the day. What I don't understand is why, like, they have like an army base right there or something. Why don't they get them involved? I feel like this is Brian Laundry. Lake John, hey, how are you? Welcome to chat. Why can't canine scent near water, dilution, or too many smells? I don't know. Hold on. I was going to do something else. Oh, we were talking about. And Patreon members, I haven't forgotten about our weekly lives, but I don't think we're going to be able to do them weekly. I think we're going to be doing them bi-weekly. So I'm going to post to you guys in Patreon tonight and let you know the new schedule. Let you know the new schedule.
Affirmative.
And I'm going to get a project going in the Patreon too. So don't fret. I haven't forgotten about you guys. There's just a lot going on right now. And now I can't remember what I was just going to do. Because I started talking about Koberger. Oh, that's right. I wanted to see something. I think there's a new document out that I wanted to check. I feel like I saw an alert or something. That the defense has responded to... Oh, this is old. But the defense, and we're going to talk about that on Friday too. The defense is now saying they have no intention to cross-examine Gabriela Vargas, the DNA lady. Thank you for subscribing, Real Aaron. And Kelly Stoneberger on Facebook. We got a Stoneberger. Thank you for liking on Facebook. Kim Jocelyn, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. But we're going to be talking about that on Friday, that the state does not want to cross-examine that lady now. It's weird. So we have her come out and she's like, oh, there's this big loophole in GenMatch. And like, I found people that I shouldn't have been able to find. And then the FBI goes to her house. And then Ann Taylor brings it up in court. So it's like not brought up by the prosecution. It was brought up by the defense. And then because the cameras were in the court.
29 car status.
Cameras were in the courtroom. So Bill Thompson.
Yeah, I called the guy. 29 car status, okay.
Bill Thompson stands up and he's like,
Not yet, sir.
well, since she brought it up, she had, talked to some people in this platform and in the genealogy platform. And then it's like, okay, the defense brought it up, so they might not be hiding something. The prosecution didn't want to bring it up in front of the cameras. What's up, Mimsy? So it's really weird, and I don't like it. And I know a lot of you love these genealogist ladies that go on like 48 hours, like the CC Moore and this Gabriela Vargas. But when you hear the information that I found, I want you to keep an open mind, because I love what they do too. But I don't love if it's done in a sneaky way that it's not supposed to be done. And I think that may have been happening. But the question is, did the FBI know they were using this loophole? Because Gabriela Vargas said, I solved the crime in 4 days that the FBI couldn't solve in 30 years. So if the FBI knew about this loophole, why would they not use it themselves? A,
Unit 6571.
why would they even need these ladies if the FBI was doing that? I don't feel like the FBI was doing that. But then I'm like, okay, well, maybe the FBI just
6571.
didn't want to be the ones to do it. So they put it off on these ladies and had them do the dirty work. I don't know, man. Either way, there's some kind of weird shit going on. There should not be loopholes
902 General Wayne.
in.
The Immaculate Residence. Audible door and window sensor. Garage door.
Uh-oh, someone's sensor's going off. But there should not be loopholes when it comes to DNA. Like, you're sending them your most private, sensitive information. And this bitch gets on the stand and she's talking about some loophole. And the FBI may have known about the loophole. That's fucked up. I mean, it's great that they're catching murderers and shit, but they can't be doing it illegally. You know what I'm saying? And we all know the FBI's history. We're going to learn a lot about that in Potato and I's podcast. We're going to go back to the beginning of J. Edgar Hoover. Because I don't think the corruption has gone away. I think it's just changed in its form.
Lady.
It's changed in its form.
West Town, the 1200 building, 1200 Styles Boulevard, apartment 1211 for a suspicious condition. Caller speaks an unknown subject to the door. No voice is heard. The last knock was about a minute ago.
Someone at the door?
And 5 to 6 minutes prior to that. They're not expecting any visitors or...
Uh-oh, someone's at their door.
Call 80.
Might be related, might not be related. We've got a presser coming up in about 34 minutes. I feel like I'm shadow banned on YouTube. This is weird. The map view is the area they've been searching for him. So they did have the police helicopter up, but it looks like it went in. So maybe it went in for this presser. I just refreshed and there's nothing flying over now.
15.96.
But it flew back over to Unionville and landed.
5496.
But this is the area they were searching. By Pakopskin.
No, 39 Bridge Street. Bridge Street Fire Company's gone out for smoke.
So that's what that is. I was watching the helicopter and then it went away.
Okay, I'm clear.
Bill Thompson is corrupt. I don't doubt that. I think a lot of people are corrupt. I think there's corruption in every facet. So that wouldn't surprise me. I just don't know what to think anymore. I don't like the DNA thing. I hope they don't even need the DNA because it just sounds messy. It just sounds really messy. Welcome to chat, guys. If you're just coming in, we're just watching Flight Radar over the area they were searching, waiting for a press conference in about 30 minutes, and listening to Chester County Scanner. Crime Solver says I would be hiding under the bed 24/7. I would be petrified if I lived in this area, seriously. And they said yesterday, Nick the Hat on Twitter said yesterday that, let's see if we can't get Twitter up here. He said yesterday that people had their garage doors open, or one of the...
I understand what I'm only here.
671 copy.
Here's an update from Nick the
I'm
Hat.
back in the area. I'm going to wait for a few more of you guys to come on before I say much, just so we don't have to do it
You're
twice.
before you.
Hang on, let me mute this audio here. All right, this is Nick the Hat's
Give it a couple
update.
minutes.
When was
You guys can hear,
this?
there's a helicopter you can see.
See, he
and
was...
I'll explain where I am in a minute.
Okay, 55 minutes ago. So that's when I was watching the helicopter. So he's right by where the helicopter was that I said left. So let's watch his update 55 minutes ago. And like I said, we have a press conference coming up in roughly 30 minutes, guys.
See the helicopter still circling right now. All right, guys, I just have a quick update. I'm back in the area. I'm going to wait for a few more of you guys to come on before I say much, just so we don't have to do it twice. Let's give it a couple minutes. You guys can hear, there's a helicopter, as you can see. And I'll explain where I am in a minute and the relevance to this location. That is I'm not sure if it's a news helicopter or a police helicopter. If anybody has flight radar on, you guys can check. We're on Pocopson and Britton's Bridge. You should see the helicopter any second. There it is, guys. That's ABC? Okay, cool. So, as I said earlier, I'm going to be running to the press conference in a little bit, so I'm just here for about 5 minutes. So here are some updates that I have for you guys from the past 20 minutes. So, let me show you guys the helicopter heading this way. So from what I'm hearing, and this is from a law enforcement source, dogs track off of disturbed ground. The problem is there's so many people clearing areas looking for him that the dog can't get a track because all the officers are contaminating the area. Again, so I'm going to read that part again. So it looks like the canines cannot get a track because officers are contaminating the area. The only dogs that can track off of scent are bloodhounds. We put 30 trail cameras in the woods yesterday.
Oh my
That's
God.
from, again, I'm just reading from a law enforcement source. So yesterday they put 30 trail cams in the woods, and we are about to place 30 more. So the law enforcement source says this guy is not stupid by any means. He lived in the rainforest of Brazil his whole life. He was also a farmer, so he knows how to live off the land. So this specific source has already hit over 70 hours of overtime in the last week, and he's pretty much been living in the woods. So at this point, there's not much word on a fresh track of the guy, but the canines are unable to pick up a scent because of the amount of officers in the area. So,
Wow.
as I just said, there were also 30 trail cameras, hunting cameras, put in the woods in the last 6 or 7 days. Now today, they're putting 30 more just today. So they do believe he is still in the area, the vicinity, somewhat near the perimeter, if not in the perimeter, at least in the immediate outskirts. And you guys can see the news helicopter hovering low, and it could be that they're assisting law enforcement. Like I said before, that does happen from time to time where the news will come and help law enforcement with a search and provide their resources. So I did see earlier that a dispatch came through that the accused murderer might have, or the convicted murderer might have gotten into a dark green car headed toward Delaware. Now I have a lot of residents texting me from Delaware
Gone
that
Girl.
live near the border. They're on the lookout.
Hey,
And
Carlin.
nothing is confirmed as of yet. We're not even sure if that's a confirmed sighting or any of that. But as I said, I'm going to go to the press conference and I'm going to ask the police, the state police, about the miscommunication and the
You're
lack
excused
of
this time,
communication
Carlin.
with all of the agencies. Is there an established line of communication where all officers working this manhunt have access to? That's going to be my first question. And then I'm going to ask about the map, about a map that was found in his cell, a hand-drawn map leading from the prison to the courthouse. So that is a very interesting map, and it adds to the escape plan. Maybe he was avoiding going toward Westchester. And where we are right now,
Hey,
guys,
Delaney,
we're on
2 days in a
Pocopson
row?
and Britton's Bridge Road. I'll show you the intersection. And on our way here on Pocopson, about a mile behind us, there were 3 unmarked vehicles.
I never thought of that either.
I believe it could be federal agents, given the uniform or the vests. It was an unmarked Suburban with 2 pickup trucks, and they pulled off to the side of the road by the woods. And
Hopefully they don't get
and
stuck.
we just kept going to get to here because we have to go to the press conference in a little bit. But that was just a quick update, guys.
Thank you so much, Nick.
than
We
that,
appreciate you. So that is the latest 55 minutes ago from Nick the Hat. Let's go back and turn on. Let's go back to Flight Radar and see if they're back out there. It does not look like it. Nothing is flying over. So maybe they've caught him. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. And let's end our poll. Raggedy Ann, stay inside and be safe. So 83% of you don't think they caught him. 16% do, but that was only 73 votes. That was only 73 votes. So this is the area they were searching right here where this plane is going over. Right south of this Pocopson has been the area they've been focusing on. Schools are closed again. Longwood Gardens is closed. The whole area is on Shookville. Please stay inside, lock your doors. And we're going to open up this dispatch audio again because they were called to someone's house. Let's unmute. We've got 600 people listening on the Chester County Law Enforcement Dispatch Scanner audio that we're listening to right now. Yeah, what's the feel there, Raggedy Ann? What's the vibe when do you step outside? Is there cops on your road? I agree, Sushi. They should just get some Brazilian that lives in the rainforest and bring him here and say, find the motherfucker. We'll get you set for life here in America. Find him. I bet you'd find him in a matter of hours. Nothing on your street, Raggedy, and you're locked and loaded. Awesome. He broke into 2 houses, you guys, since he's been on the run. 2 houses. One guy flicked the lights like 5 times, and the dude did it back from the basement or some shit. It was scary. It was a scary story. Let me see if I can find it. Scanner's quiet right now. Let's go to YouTube and see.
12-5. Stop. 700 block, little contact approach.
I can't remember who talked to the neighbor or the guy. Do you guys know where that was? I know that's a press conference, but that wasn't it. It was like a guy who gave his account. Let's see if it's this one.
There have now been 6 sightings of an...
Let's see. That's not it. Oh, maybe this is it. Let's see.
Nearby school districts canceled classes Tuesday, and the community is on high alert.
It's hard for all of us in this area.
I don't understand he's been able to elude the police this long.
That's not it.
Crazy. And to be in this same area all this long.
The domestic disturbance components to it. Your RP is not just one there. But they also screaming their background.
20 minutes until the live update from officials. Thanks for joining, guys. Facebook and YouTubers. My favorites. ABC7 Chicago. Yeah, I want to find that thing. Let's see. ABC7 Chicago. Donelo. Or should I just put escaped inmate? Yeah, here it is. Thank you so much. Whoever said that. I can't remember who it was, but here we go, guys.
Several updates today on the intense manhunt for an escaped prisoner in Chester County. Authorities said there have now been 4 credible sightings of Donelo Cavalcante since he broke out on Thursday, leading them to believe he's still in that area. Residents today being told to stay vigilant. Action News reporter Maggie Kent joining us now live in Pocopson Township once again. Maggie, you spoke with a man today who says he saw Cavalcante on Friday?
Absolutely
Tell me
terrifying
what.
experience, Brian. Ryan Drummond says that he was inside his home on Friday night. Now, Drummond lives here within this 2-mile search radius, closed to through traffic. All of the neighbors here in this wooded area, 2-mile search area, have been basically locked down since then as U.S. Marshals and state police continue their search.
My wife, I said, hey, I think there might be somebody downstairs. Get on the phone.
Ryan Drummond claims he saw
This is him.
Donelo Cavalcante, convicted killer, on the run from Chester County Prison for 5 days now, inside of his home on Friday night around 11:45. After hearing rustling downstairs, Drummond says he rushed to his upstairs landing.
What I decided to do was flip the light switch on and off, 3 or 4 or 5 times, pause, and then he flipped the light switch from downstairs 3 or 4 times, which was the moment of like, oh my God, this guy is down there.
After making sure his children were sleeping in their beds, Drummond says he watched Cavalcante walk out of his home.
I saw him
Oh
walk
my
out of
God.
the kitchen and through our living room, kind of along the side, opened up that door, walked out. He was wearing a white shirt, had a bag.
Police arrived, but the man escaped back into the thick wood and brush after.
Can you believe that, you guys? Terrifying. He flipped the light switch. He said he thought somebody was downstairs, so he flipped it 5 times. And they flipped it back. And then he saw the dude leaving. White t-shirt, bag, and everything. That is so scary. Well, he called police, and then by the time they got there, he was gone. The dude was gone. Carlin, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Let's listen to him again. He heard rustling in the basement.
Says he rushed to his upstairs landing.
What I decided to do was flip the light switch on and off, 3 or 4 or 5 times, pause, and then he flipped the light switch from downstairs 3 or 4 times, which was the moment of like, oh my God, this guy is down there.
After making
No
sure
way.
his children were sleeping in their beds, Drummond says he watched Cavalcante walk out of his home.
I saw him walk out of the kitchen and through our living room, kind of along the side, opened up that door, walked out. He was wearing a white shirt, had a bag.
Police arrived, but the man escaped back into the thick wood.
I mean, this guy is... Tackle him? I wouldn't touch him. Are you kidding me? This guy stabbed his girlfriend over 30 times in front of her children. This guy had kids in the house, in bed. This could have really, really went bad. Scary as hell. Scary as hell. Y'all are like, tackle his ass. Yeah, okay. Y'all would be under the freaking bed, hiding in a frozen shock phase. The hell are you kidding? We've got about 15 minutes until we get an official update from law enforcement on this case. Welcome to J is for Justice. If you're just not now joining, I know that notifications are not going out. What's up, Amy Perry? In the house, Tamara Allison. I have no idea. I think these people are just used to keeping their doors and windows open. I don't know. That I cannot tell you because he was not asked that question. He was not asked that question. So back to our flight radar map. We still have something over Willowdale. Interesting. This is the same helicopter. This is flying at 950 feet over Willowdale, which is west. And I don't know if this is related or not, but it's the same copter. So it's actually west of where they were searching. So we'll wait and see what happens here. We are roughly 15 minutes away from an update, and it took us 38 minutes to get over 105 viewers. Put a 1 in chat if you got a notification today. Put a 2 if you did not and you just stumbled upon me. Scott H.
God almighty.
It is good to see you on this Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. Mystical Bandit, hello, Jay, just getting up today. Take it, he's still out there doing his thing. Chicken Wang, he is. Did he steal Brazil nuts from that house? You are what you eat. Yes.
These nuts.
Melissa B, welcome. Melissa B says -1. Look at none of Tamara and John Gone Girl got one. Hey, Anna. Everybody, welcome, welcome. Jammers had no idea. Punani had no idea. Welcome. What's up, Punani?
Niggas wife me once they get that good punani.
Mick Jammers. What is happening? Do you guys think that they already caught him? Oh, let's see where our plane is going. Now it's going up north of Unionville. Going up towards this preserve. Oh, God. If we end up in another reserve with this manhunt. Because, you guys, they were searching over here. See, this is the Longwood Gardens. This is the police helicopter up here. Flying at about 950 feet in the air, which is pretty low. It's pretty damn low. Look at me. I sound like an expert. I became an expert during the Brian Laundrie manhunt. Look at, no one's getting notifications. Jonathan Butler, what's up? Canuck. Do you guys know what that's from? Come on, come on. Kendi, as far as I know, they haven't brought the military in. And I was asking that question earlier before you arrived. Before you blessed us with your presence, I said there's like an army base right around there. I was looking at this flight radar earlier, and I was like, wait a minute. There's army helicopters. Let's turn on our scanner again. We have live scanner from Chester County Law Enforcement, but I'm sure they're getting ready. I'm sure they're getting ready for this press conference in roughly 12 minutes. Jammers says he's like Dora the Explorer with his backpack. I don't know if it was on Saturday Night Live, but it was from the Bob and Doug McKenzie. Do you remember them? Yahoozer. My brother used to do that stupid coo. That's the only reason I remember it. So they are circling around in Unionville right now. Yes, please share this out to your socials. Because YouTube hates me. Nexstar struck me. Now YouTube hates me again. Neva Nomo, thank you for subscribing. Why is your internet going to buffer all day? Sushi says if they caught him, they wouldn't be out there flying in circles. Bob and Doug were cool. I'm telling you. Y'all are fucking funny. Let me see if I can find Doug and Bob McKenzie. Remember they had that movie Strange Brew? It's been many, many years. The Great White North. Who are Bob and Doug McKenzie? Rick Moranis? Is that Rick Moranis?
Next number 2.
It is.
I'll start that, Phil.
Okay.
Be real nice to him, eh? Okay. Okay. This is the hit single section of our album.
They made an album. Okay, I'm not good with that. Okay, here we go.
Good day. How's it going? Okay. Boy, like I don't know what's going on. Why the letters didn't come up?
The letters?
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Okay. Good day. Welcome to the Great White North Canadian Corner. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
How's it going, eh?
And today's topic, what was it?
Wait, this is classic. This is like before YouTube was YouTube. You guys, I love how we always get off topic while we're waiting, but we've got roughly 9 minutes for the press conference. Welcome to JS for Justice. If you found my live today, I welcome you. All right, check it out. So this is like totally would be a YouTube set if YouTube was a thing back in the 80s. Okay, this would totally be a YouTube channel now. Look at the Canadian, the Molson Canadian next to them. Look at the old school cooler. The metal cooler. The empty pizza box. I mean, this is classic. This is classic. If someone had a YouTube channel like this, they would be viral. They would be so viral. Okay, here we go.
Why the letters didn't come up?
The letters?
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Okay. Good day. Welcome to the Great
Hey,
White
Jeff
North
Kent.
Canadian Corner. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
How's it going, eh?
And today's topic, what was it?
How come Americans have twist off beer caps?
Yeah. Okay.
How come Americans have twist off beer caps? Hold on, I've got to take this call, guys.
So like
Canadians don't.
This is Canadian beer, right? And like here's a regular top, and you open it, right? But American ones, they don't have any, right?
They twist off.
You ever seen them?
Yeah, I have.
I was talking to them. Okay, so they go like jam or ketchup or other twist offs. The American beer is like that. Why is our topic? Okay, go.
Okay, the reason why, is
good. You're on the main channel.
I was muted. Yeah, I said it. I was muted. Playing sound bites that made no sense. I said, I hope they reunite him with his native country, Brazil. You guys are like, okay, she's randomly playing Reunited.
30 Little Paul 6. Copy top. 600 block. Little Washington.
Roly-poly, daddy's little Betty. Betty's gonna be a man someday.
Yeah, I was muted. Yeah, I said it. 5 minutes, guys.
I flashed and said, wow, pretty far out.
I thought it was pretty far out. Yeah, I'm the queen of the mute button. Scanner is on. It is quiet at the moment.
Somebody in Washington with more than 5 brain cells needs to listen to this. Well, maybe asking them to have 5 brain cells too many. Let's shoot for 3 brain cells.
Don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier.
I don't know, Shell. People have thrown around that maybe he's getting help. I don't think so. I think he's just resourceful. Great room you have there, Jay. Great room. What are you talking about, Butler?
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Oh, you mean the chat room? Never mind. I read that wrong. Thank you, Jonathan Butler, and welcome to chat. I'm gonna unyo that stupid comment. Welcome. What's up, Myron? Love ya, Myron. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good week. I know our chat room, our community rocks. Our community rocks. I just misunderstood that. I'm sorry. We have the best community. Prosecutors say Deborah Brandeo, Cavalcante's ex-girlfriend, was outside her home with her 2 children on April 18th, 2021, when he stabbed her to death. Random player, thank you so much. Hi, Summer. Cavalcante grabbed her by the hair, threw her to the ground, and stabbed her 38 times.
Copy your stop, 100 block, top, sound
In 38 times in virtually every vital organ, causing her to bleed to death. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is horrific. That is one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. God.
I don't want to see you again for the rest of my whole life.
This guy needs to get gone. Get gone. Me either, Kendi. I'd be in a corner crying. It's hot. He probably hangs upside down on the damn tree. He's only like 5'2". Some shit. If you guys are in that area, please lock up your homes. All right, we're going to be starting in just a second, guys.
Calling, okay? Copy.
Let's get this pulled up here. Thank you, Shell, for sending me this link. Greatly appreciated. Let's get this window all set for you guys. We've got a couple minutes, and we should be beginning. Looks like we haven't started yet, so... Welcome to Jay is for Justice. If you are new here, please consider subscribing if you like my coverage. 5 feet, 125 pounds. Holy. Yeah, he's going to be moving around tonight around 7 p.m. If they haven't caught him already. If they haven't caught him already, then he'll probably move around again tonight. So, we're just waiting for this presser to begin.
Status.
Myron, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you, Myron. Bonjour, Nancy. I went to a presentation by the U.S. Marshals last night, and they said an escapee has to be lucky every second of every day. Authorities need to only be lucky once. Makes sense. But 7 days?
Unit 172, JWC from
Monkey in the Holler? Who's that? White boy? I mean, he literally slipped through the cracks. It's insanity. Look at him with his backpack. I don't even know. Can this guy even speak English? That was a question I had. We are still just waiting for this to begin. I will tune it in as soon as it starts. In the meantime, I've got the Chester County Law Enforcement Dispatch audio. I know, Jonathan. Are you having nightmares of Brian Laundrie? I wonder how far the train tracks are from the area. Right? I don't know. I just had a little bit of Brian Laundrie vibes this morning when they said, oh my God, we were looking here, now we're looking here.
I know you all and the public
Oh, here we go.
have had a number of questions about the actual escape made by Cavalcante. I'm going to turn this over to Acting Warden Holland to talk about that. I'd ask that following his remarks, you hold any questions until the end of our briefing, and we will be happy to take questions at that time.
Thank you, sir.
111 viewers make a wish.
I just want to ensure that we know the gravity of the situation and how it's impacted our community negatively. Moreover, to the victims of this individual, I want to make sure that they know that we are consistently and consciously thinking of what they're going through.
They don't have them.
Give out the fact that they continually are in our thoughts and prayers to make sure we bring Mr. Cavalcante to justice. So good afternoon. I am Howard Holland, the acting warden of the Chester County Prison. I'm here today to provide preliminary details of the escape of Donelo Cavalcante. Let me begin by addressing the escape of Igor Bolt, which the media has been reporting on. Igor Bolt, which escaped on May 19th of this year. This escape was similar to the methodology of the escape by Cavalcante, and the escape by Igor Bolt allowed the prison to identify a deficiency in the exterior exercise yard where the escape occurred. This is also the same area, the escape yard, where Cavalcante was located prior to his escape. The exercise yard improvements undertaken after Bolt's escape were intended to address the escape route from the yard to the roof area. Security consultants were brought in, and improvements were based on the consultants' findings by a contracted security service. The improvement consisted of additional razor wire being placed in the yard area at the wall where the escape occurred to block access to the roof. The escape of Cavalcante is not just being internally investigated. Because it is in criminal nature, it is also being investigated by the State Attorney General's office. The video of Cavalcante's escape has been turned over to the criminal investigators. I will review the exact timeline and show a video of Cavalcante's escape from the exercise yard. They have
screens, guys.
But can confirm that it does show that Cavalcante escaped at the same location as Igor Bolt, but for Cavalcante, there was razor wire to contend with before reaching the roof.
Same way.
Secondly, Chester County Prison uses proven countermeasure security that are an industry standard. For example, high fencing, razor or barbed wire, secure doors or gates with salad ports to control movement, video cameras, and most importantly, correctional officers, all of which were in place and remain in place. One of the issues brought to light as we conduct our internal investigations on Cavalcante's escape is that once the additional razor wire had been added to the escape route, following Igor Bolt's escape in May, it was determined by our security advisors that this one level of security was sufficient. In fact, what was perhaps overlooked was the fact that addressing the single point of physical countermeasure should have been bolstered by additional means. We are addressing that. On Tuesday afternoon, yesterday, we had engineers from Trans Systems, a company which was selected by Lancaster County to design their new prison, brought on site. They are developing proposals for the prison board to fully enclose all outside exercise yards. While we believe the security measures we had in place were sufficient, they've proven otherwise, and we will quickly we moved quickly to enhance our security measures. Finally, I'd like to cover the human element of the escape. One key difference in the escape by Igor Bolt as compared with the escape of Cavalcante is the role of the tower officer, whose primary responsibility is to oversee the inmates in the exercise yard. In Bolt's escape, the tower officer observed the subject leaving the yard area and contacted control immediately. That is why Bolt was apprehended within 5 minutes. In the escape of Cavalcante, the tower officer did not observe nor report the escape. The escape was discovered as part of the inmate counts that occurs when inmates come in from the exercise yard. As I previously noted, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office will be conducting a thorough criminal investigation into the escape, which includes this element of the incident. This investigation is both necessary and welcome. The actions of the tower officer present at the time of Cavalcante's escape are a key part of our internal investigation, and we'll be taking appropriate action against personnel based on the results of that investigation. Here is the timeline of the events. At 8:33 a.m., Cavalcante's block entered the exercise yard. At 8:51 a.m., Cavalcante escapes from the prison, having crab walked up a wall, push his way through a razor wire, run across a roof, scale another fence, and push his way through more razor wire. At 9:35 a.m., Cavalcante's block returned to the unit from the yard. At 9:45 a.m., officers on Cavalcante's block notify Central Control of a missing inmate, and they conduct a special count. At 9:48 a.m., officers informed Central Control that Cavalcante was not there. There was a belief that he may have been in a phone visiting room, which was checked with negative results. At 9:50 a.m., the prison was locked down and the special count was conducted. By 10:01 a.m., the public escape siren had sounded and the 911 center had been notified. Just as we do in any security-related incident, we will thoroughly review all of our practices, policies, and procedures and make improvements as appropriate. We are currently formulating plans to enhance security to include, as previously mentioned, fully enclosing all outside exercise yards, installing additional security cameras, adjusting officers' positions when inmates are in exercise yards, and additional security assets which would enhance overall security of the prison. As I close, I would definitely like to thank my local, federal, state, and law enforcement representatives who quickly responded to the scene once the escape was there. I know they have been diligently working to take Mr. Cavalcante back into custody, and we are very appreciative of their efforts. At this time, due to the nature of the investigations that are ongoing, I cannot comment on any individual investigation, including the internal investigations. With that, I'd like to turn it over back to Colonel Bivens. So, I'm not sure where...
He's the same height as the dude. What's going on? Oh, here's the video. Are they going to zoom in? Because I might have to zoom in if they're not. I can't watch it from that far away. This is the video of the escape. I guess.
Thank you, Warden Holland. I'll go on with my update, and again, we'll come back to questions momentarily. Last evening, we had another sighting of Cavalcante by a resident in the area of Chandler Road, Pennsbury Township. Teams searched the area for hours, but were unable to locate him. An issue we did experience during that search illustrates some of the challenges our people are dealing with. In spite of precautions, one of our tactical search dogs suffered a heat-related and emergency and remains hospitalized today. We are hopeful that he will eventually make a full recovery. As a result of that reported sighting, residents likely observed a significant increase in police activity. We did have a reverse 911 message sent out during the incident in an effort to inform residents of the issue. Additionally, as a result of that activity, we slightly expanded the eastern edge of our perimeter to include Creek Road. The district attorney and I have continued a regular dialogue with school districts in the area, updating them with changes in our operations that might impact schools. As this operation unfolded late last night, the Unionville, Chadds Ford, and Kennett Consolidated School Districts made a decision to close schools. We continue to use hundreds of state, local, and federal law enforcement officers, canines, aviation assets, and various types of technology in an effort to keep the community safe and to bring this to as swift of a conclusion as possible. Excuse me. We continue to increase the number of personnel assigned as conditions dictate. Residents can expect to continue to see large numbers of law enforcement officers in their communities and traveling to and from assigned locations. We continue to ask for the public's help by familiarizing themselves with the photograph and description of Cavalcante, to check security cameras they have, and to call us immediately if they believe they may have seen Cavalcante. Again, we ask residents to please secure homes, outbuildings, and vehicles. Cavalcante has clearly already obtained some clothing and unknown other supplies, and we want to minimize any opportunity to obtain anything more. It is important that we keep pressure on him as we continue the hunt. I am also announcing that Pennsylvania Crime Stoppers has offered up to a $10,000 reward for information leading to the capture of Cavalcante. This brings the reward total to $20,000. Anyone with information is asked to call our tip line at 717-562-2987, 717-562-2987. Lastly, I want to recognize and thank the community for all of their support through this trying time in their lives. I and all of us working this manhunt understand the tremendous stress this puts on families and even businesses. In spite of that stress, and unsolicited, we have had individuals, businesses, scouting, church, and other organizations show up at our command post with cases of water, food, and well wishes for all of our people. They are very kind, and I can't thank them enough for their support. And now we will be happy to take any questions that you may have.
Lieutenant Colonel, do you think he has more ability to hide from you than you thought he did when this thing started, since it's 7 days now?
Here we go.
No, I don't think he has any more ability than we initially gave him credit for. I think that it's a very challenging area. I think we've had a number of these types of searches in the past. Some take hours, some take days, some take weeks, and some take months. We're committed to the search, and we will find him. We will bring him back and into the criminal justice system.
The DA or the acting warden, you guys have access to this video. You saw this. Why did it take so long to alert the public of how he escaped?
Can you guys hear the questions?
DA or the acting warden?
Well, I can address that. That matter was referred to the Attorney General's office immediately. We are engaged in a thorough investigation. As I've stated before, our main focus is bringing this man to custody. We were putting all of our efforts to try to locate him. There was a simultaneous investigation into the prison escape, and today was the day that we believed we needed to bring in the acting warden to address the public about how he escaped.
What you knew ahead of time, you still didn't want to release that information to the public.
Is the Attorney General's investigation...
They have no control over this.
Chester County District Detective's investigation?
That's correct.
How was it possible that this person was able to take the same escape route as someone just months previous?
Same escape route they're asking about.
Obviously someone didn't.
So as I said earlier, according to the document, we did have a consulting firm come out, identify how that individual escaped, and we thought we took appropriate measures to prevent that with the razor wire. Again, the one thing we didn't take into account was a failure on the human element side. We only focused on the physical infrastructure and not necessarily the human element.
So was there nobody in the tower?
They have no control over this
Presser. Is that why you didn't get the call, or was he asleep?
Someone was in the tower at the time.
Should the person in the tower have seen him leave?
The position of the towers are for observation posts, which overlook the yards.
Lieutenant Colonel Bivens, sir, does he have...
Just 1 minute.
I'm hearing from state police, local law enforcement, and marshals that you guys have multiple channels. Last night I witnessed this. There was an officer from Kennett Square. There was activity. That officer didn't hear anything. He asked the trooper what's going on. They said we're on a different channel. He was left in the dark, and I'm hearing now from, it was at least 12 officers in the past 6 days that told me they are not able to communicate in concert with you guys. Are there multiple channels that you guys are operating?
No, I would have to look into that specific concern, and I'd be happy to do that. Maybe we can talk afterward, and you can supply me a name that we can look into it. What I would tell you is that we've spent a lot of time and effort making sure that we do have solid communications. We've got a lot of agencies working there. Most have representation in our command post, and we would know immediately if we had a communication issue. So if there is something that's isolated to a certain agency or something, we'd certainly want to take a look at that. But that's not a widespread concern.
Has he obtained a weapon? And if so, what kind of weapon do you think he has?
We have not determined that he has obtained a weapon.
When was the consultant brought in, and what was the name of the consultant again?
So I don't have the exact date nor name of the consulting firm.
What?
I can get that for you.
What?
Because
Lieutenant Colonel Vives, is any
You came to this press conference without that information?
device used to track them at least at night?
There are a number of types of technology. I think it's certainly reasonable to believe something like that would be included in the array of technology that we would bring to bear.
Hold on. In the Igor Bolt case, the inmates
Oh my God, this is bad.
the guard. There was a fight on the basketball court, is what the criminal complaint says. In this case, too, we have heard that there was also some sort of group of inmates or a line of inmates on that yard. Is that obstructing, or is it just that the inmates also figured out how to do this as well? So what is being taken to address that concern, that you have an inmate standing there in that video? Is that guy a lookout? Are they all talking about how to do this? What are you doing there on the human side with the inmates to make sure nobody tries this again?
Good question.
So as I said, for the investigation of how or why this occurred, including the investigation and questioning of the inmates that were there, that's done by the Attorney General's office. So I don't have the exact answer. Moreover, as we develop information into this, we are certainly going to look at what the actions of that tower officer were, why he didn't observe what was occurring in that yard. I'm not sure as to how or why.
What?
He didn't address it at this point.
Aren't there cameras on the guy?
Why not share that video early on if you knew how he escaped? That's the question that everyone had.
Again, as part of the investigation. Certainly, I'm sorry. As part of the investigation, that would have been up to the Attorney General's office to release that, and when it was to be released. At this point, we thought it was prudent.
Step
and have
down.
permission to release it.
Is the tower officer still on duty, or has he been suspended? Is he still working?
He is on administrative leave.
This is for the district attorney or the warden. Can you confirm or deny that the escapee had a map of the area that was hand-drawn detailing the route from the prison to the Chester County Courthouse? Is that anything or is that error?
No, I have no evidence to suggest they did a map
Chester
of the
County
area.
Jail.
I did not.
This individual was listed as an escape risk. This was known that he was looking to do something like this prior. Why was he, and also, he's here on a murder charge, he's being held here waiting to be sent to state prison. He knows he's wanted in Brazil. Why is he roaming around the yard like this and not in a more secure location? And is that something you'll do as the administrator of the prison later, is to reevaluate how high-risk offenders have free access?
Who's on the far left?
So to answer your question, we will certainly evaluate how we're handling inmates of that level, especially murder suspects. But we also have to understand that these individuals have certain rights. So it's not a question of would we let him out again. It's certainly a question of would I put him back out there with a group of other individuals, or there would be a one-on-one, and it would be a one-on-one from this point out.
Do you believe the Brandywine Creek is a possible escape route? Do you believe the Brandywine Creek is a possible escape route? Officers are monitoring it on Route 1.
I would say that we are open to anything being a possibility as far as an escape route, and we're actively working to keep that area secure. I wouldn't comment on the viability of one versus another escape route.
Do you think he's out of your perimeter?
I do not.
He's flipped your perimeter?
I do not.
What makes you believe
Well, you
that?
didn't think that the other day.
Everything that I'm able to see, the various sightings that we've had, other aspects of this investigation lead me to believe that he is still there in that area. Sure. So on the northern end, Route 921, on the east.
921 or 926?
I'm sorry, 926. On the eastern side, 100 or Creek Road. On the southern side, Hillendale. And on the western side, 52.
How big is this compared
And-
to what your perimeter was in days past?
What's the square mileage of the
Offhand, I don't know what the square mileage is. It is slightly
The
larger.
people, what, Grady
than
Judd or the
perimeter that we
military
had in the past.
immediately?
Quite frankly, it was enlarged for two reasons. One, because of one of the sightings, and two, because we are also very cognizant of inconveniencing the public. Quite frankly,
It's been a
we
week.
probably could have kept that southern perimeter a little further north, but we probably would have interfered with traffic on Route 1 and would have caused even more headaches for local residents and those passing through as well. And so we took the option that we believe is equally secure and yet doesn't inconvenience residents nearly as much.
Cavalcante was in custody since 2021. He would have been in jail at the same time as Igor Bolt. Is there any indication that the two of them had any contact?
We have no information at this time connecting that, but again, that is not up for me to determine. It's up for the Attorney General's office and the investigation.
Acting Warden, you have chosen to share this information today. Have the similarities between Igor Bolt's release not been made public?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Would you have chosen to share the details of Cavalcante's escape and the similarities to Igor's had the information not come to light yesterday?
So I don't really think it's a decision of me releasing. I think it was appropriate with the coordination of the Attorney General's office to release it when they deemed appropriate. So that's why we're here.
Lieutenant Colonel, is lethal force authorized only in the perimeter, or is it authorized statewide in the next state if he does not surrender clearly to...
I have no authority in the next state. I have authority in Pennsylvania with the Pennsylvania State Police.
Is it statewide lethal force if he's seen anywhere in the state, or is it around?
No, the directive pertains to this particular search.
And the backpack, or the sighting today that was reported, I believe, by Fox 29, where he might have been getting into a dark green car vest, comes to fruition, or that?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of your question.
There was a dispatch this morning that said that an individual with a backpack matching the description of the escapee got into a dark green car.
No, that was not related to this.
Warden Holland, is the photo of Mr. Cavalcante that we see here, was that taken just before the escape?
I believe it was, yes, sir.
Are you getting a lot of sightings throughout the region outside the perimeter, other parts of Chester County, other counties where people are thinking that they're seeing him? And what kind of stress does that put on your resources?
We are not getting a lot of sightings outside of the perimeter. In fact, very few. They are being fully investigated. Nothing has led me to believe that any of them were actually him. And we have the ability to do this operation and follow up outside of the area as well.
Any idea where he thinks he might be trying to get to?
I do have some ideas of where he thinks he might be trying to get to, but I'm not prepared to discuss that.
You said last week that he's trying to head south. You said last week you think he's trying to head south, maybe to Mexico or Brazil. Do you still believe?
I believe he's trying to head south. In terms of his final destination, again, I'm not prepared to discuss
Are
that.
family members cooperating, or has it been determined that they may have aided?
We're not going to discuss any parts of the investigation involving the family.
Just wanted to ask about the, if you could take it back to the escape. Could you give an approximate width from one wall to the next?
So I would say approximately maybe 5 feet, maybe less.
Acting Warden, you said you're looking to fully enclose the yard.
Yes, sir.
What does that means that there's not a fence around it already? Can you explain?
So the yards are block wall with an exterior fence with an open top. Along that line are razor wires so someone physically can't climb the fence. Moreover, there's a smaller mesh fence on the second half, so the fence is probably 10 to 15 feet high. What the proposal is actually to cap that whole thing in basically like as a cage so no one can physically climb out.
All the way from the fence to the building?
All the way and all 8 yards that we have.
You reviewing any other video that shows him practicing this? I mean, did he just boldly do this on a whim, figuring out that he could go up this wall?
So we have no supportive evidence as far as video that shows him trying to do this, no other inference of him attempting it from any other inmate.
Which yard is this? Is this yard A, yard B, yard C? You said 8 yards.
So this is C yard.
You talked about the control tower and there being a guard in there that did not observe the escape. Is there any corrections officer that is physically present with the inmates when they're in that recreation area? And if not, why not?
So there's physically no correctional officer in with the inmates. For the observation tower, it's to observe the inmates, one, obviously, for any type of injury, any type of fight that's gone away, and any escape attempt.
Why wouldn't there be someone just outside there, if not inside?
So typically, the other thing we have is a video monitor in that area. So we don't put 2 staff in there. as part of the upgraded system that we're putting in, we are putting additional personnel, not only in the tower, but on the ground to observe anybody in the yard.
Assistant Warden, was nobody monitoring this camera that you showed us that had the video of him crab walking up?
So we have approximately 160 cameras at any one time that's monitored all over the facility, also inside to control door movements to see who's coming and going. So with the time it took him to go up, and we all saw the video, it wasn't very long. So in that instance, if it wasn't observed and the camera didn't pick it up because either we weren't focused on that or we were focused on other things, it's feasible that, yeah, we didn't see it because we just weren't focused on it.
Do you have a full complement of corrections officers working on the day of the escape, or were there posts?
Yeah, I don't know why they're saying south.
There were no posts that were vacant that day.
Lieutenant Colonel, you've said that you think he's heading south, Lieutenant Colonel, but you've also said you do have an idea where you think he's heading, but you won't tell us that. But you do believe he's heading south. So you believe that he has more specific goals in mind that are closer to this location that he might be heading
Yes,
to?
my reference to heading south is more so in our area that we're searching. What his final destination and the pathway to get there, I have some ideas, but again, I'm not prepared to share those at this point.
But is he going east? I mean, he went from Longwood Gardens down to Chandler Road. That's east, not south.
Yes.
So why do you think he's going south?
Again, I'm not going to theorize or share theories in here, but yes, there was one sighting east.
Can you tell us more about the sighting? What was he doing? What did it look like?
And who spotted it?
It was a resident of the area that observed him in a creek bed near the rear of their property and called us. He was already traveling into the woods when that individual called us.
Does he have family or friends in this area?
He has some family and some associates and in the general area.
Is there anything to indicate?
Again, I'm not going to.
Lieutenant Colonel, do you believe he's lost?
I guess we'll know that when we find him and interview him for sure. I do suspect he's probably having trouble navigating.
Have you discovered any items he may have used?
He's having a lot of trouble.
We have not recovered anything from him out in the field. We have discovered through the photograph that you saw that he has a backpack, a duffel bag, and a hoodie, but we have not recovered any of those items.
Any indication he has a phone?
There were items found yesterday by some troopers. Any relation to him or anybody else that was out there? So, wallet, phone, anything like that?
Items that have been recovered are being tested, but I don't have anything to confirm that any item we have discovered.
Can you tell us what the search actually looks like? Are you literally beating bushes? Is it mostly electronic? Is it driving? Are you putting up cameras? What does this look like?
Well, again, I'm not going to describe every step of it because in the event that he does have access to media, I certainly wouldn't want to disclose all of that.
Oh my
I would tell you it's
gosh.
some of all of the above.
We know from Nick the
It is
Hat
a
there's
very,
60 cameras going to be out there.
intensive search involving hundreds of law enforcement officers, involving state-of-the-art technology, but we are not sitting in a room someplace waiting for technology to solve this. In my experience, it'll be solved one of a number of ways, and so you've got to approach it with the physical searches. And so when I mentioned about the dog going down last night, that's because our people are out there, hundreds of them last night.
Why would the dog go
pushing
down?
through the woods, holding perimeters,
Come on.
checking on possible sightings.
The dog went down.
But,
That's their
it was
fault.
Very hot, humid weather.
They should have pulled the dog before it went down.
They're working in that around the clock in order to keep the pressure on. That's part of that side of it. At the same time, there is a strong use of technology of a variety of types to allow us to try and capture him that way, should we not be successful in finding him through the physical search.
The canine officer, what department is the canine officer from?
State Police.
When you play his mother's message, what does it say?
I'm paraphrasing, but it's asking him to surrender. She doesn't want to see any harm come to him, and she wants him to come out peacefully and surrender to the police.
Is it always the same message?
Yes.
Residents are
No. We don't have her approval to do that.
Residents are wondering, at any point, will you slow down the, or back off of the manhunt? Whether it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, will you keep a large presence, an active manhunt with the manpower you have until he's captured?
We are not going anyplace until we have him in custody. We will continue the
The
manhunt.
City Festival planned this weekend in Kennett Square. Are you in conversations with organizers?
Yes, we are aware of that. We're in contact with emergency management, law enforcement authorities to make sure that we don't have any additional concerns there. And at this point, there's no reason to believe that that festival would be impacted by this search.
Is there any indication that he's had a phone or any communication device, has or had at any point during this?
I'm not prepared to discuss that aspect at this
Question
point.
for the warden, please. Did Cavalcante have any sort of disciplinary record, any infractions that you can share with us while an inmate at the prison?
To be honest with you, not that I'm aware of.
Do you know
Because As I
anything?
walked into this thing 18 hours onto the job.
Oh, shit.
I haven't gathered all his back history. I had a deputy warden put that all together.
He
and
was
get it
only
ready
on the
the
job for
detectives to look at.
18 hours before this happened?
Was he living legally here, and was he working before he killed his ex-girlfriend?
He was not legally here, and I can't answer the working part.
Lieutenant Colonel, you think you're wearing him down in any way? There is at least this conversation out there that because he's sort of emanating from Brazil, that maybe he is comfortable in hot settings, that he's comfortable in this kind of environment. Do you have any sense you're wearing him down? He seems like he's pretty elusive here.
I'm quite confident that we're wearing him down, regardless of the location, the background that a person comes from. These are hot, humid temperatures. He's not living in shelter, has no regular means of obtaining food other than if he's able to break in someplace or find something, scavenge something. So it's a difficult existence
What a
out there
mess.
for somebody that's trying to do this. That will definitely take its toll. I would also add that it's hard enough, as one of the law enforcement officers out there, it's hard enough for them navigating in this terrain, in this hot, humid weather. But imagine if you're being hunted. It adds a whole different level of stress as opposed to
He ain't stressed.
you're out there trying to find somebody. That level of stress has to be wearing on him.
Have you
Wear it
searched
on y'all.
Local railroads, railroad tracks, trains passing through?
They're asking about trains, guys.
In case you have
Yes.
been doing that. If so, what has that yielded? Anything?
It has not, but what we are attempting to do again is keep that secure perimeter and ensure that he does not have an opportunity to escape on a train.
Given the condition of the canine, does he
I'm
face
on a train.
to
I can't complain.
No, there was no mishandling of the dog. They were monitoring the dog's temperature and they realized it started to elevate.
If it went-
Unfortunately, and they sought medical treatment for the dog immediately. Unfortunately, the dog's condition continued to worsen.
What?
Even with medical treatment.
They should have never let it get to that
Until he was
point.
eventually stabilized and
Bullshit.
And now I'm told is doing somewhat better. We'll have to wait and see what.
If it's that bad, they didn't tend to that dog in time. Wow.
We have had a number. I'm not going to put a number on it, but a small number of break-ins reported. I cannot specifically attribute any of those to him.
Does Cavalcante have any history of survivalism, or do you know that he has any specific skills related to his current status, like he's out in the world?
He's not had any formal training. I am aware that, again, coming from Brazil, that some of his practices, he did go out quite a bit into the woods and things down there. So has some
This guy
experience.
doesn't know shit.
Navigating and lasting in the woods.
It's terrible.
But not any serious formal training.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like since the escape, there's been several sightings. Out of all the hundreds of officers that you have out there looking for him now, he's only been spotted by a law enforcement officer one time. The one time he was seen and the officer gave chase. Is that accurate?
I would have to go back and review it. That's probably accurate. I off the top of my head, I'm not. I'd have to look at each one of the sightings, but I believe that's probably accurate.
Apologies that this was asked already, but is there any indication he's receiving help from anyone?
Again, as part of the investigation, we're not going to disclose that, but that is something that we are constantly looking at. Even if he hadn't received it to this point, there's always a concern that he will start to receive it, and so that's something we're constantly
I
looking
know
at.
you said the search perimeter in terms of roads. I'm just not familiar with the township lines. Do we think that that's East Bradford or East Brandywine there? Is that all encompassed in that township area, or is it all Wisconsin Township as your search?
No, it's moved over into is that Pennsbury? Yeah.
Pennsbury?
Yes.
Has a decision been made or advised school
We will be having a discussion with the superintendents, I'm sure, at some point yet today. That has not occurred. What I would tell you is that those discussions are intended to give the superintendents as much information as possible so that they can make an informed decision. At some point, that information also changes, as it did last night, and that necessitated another call. So, we'll provide them an update, and then we will give them anything else that may develop.
Question for the warden. When somebody's sentenced to life in prison, are they treated differently than other people in the facility?
Are the prisoners treated differently is the question.
Are you more on alert for that?
Based on their charges.
So I can tell you that they have the same rights as everybody else, but given this complication what happened, we are certainly going to revisit how we're handling that in the future.
Oh,
as far as one-on-one in the yard versus going out with a bunch of different individuals.
Just so we're clear, Acting Warden, you're going to be adding an extra officer in the tower to join the one that's already in the observation tower?
No, for a point of clarification, we will have one person in the tower and physically somebody on the ground walking the yard.
Any additional people who are to monitor those video feeds?
So we haven't at this time established who is going to monitor inside specifically video feeds from the yard, but I can tell you we are certainly taking that and revisiting and completely how we're handling all that video visualization to make sure that we're not missing things.
As Deanna mentioned, there was a little bit of commotion that you could see in that video with one of the gentlemen who was shirtless running away from where Cavalcante was climbing up. Do you think that there was a distraction in place at that time to possibly throw off the officer that was in the observation tower?
So I can't comment as to what people were doing or why. I can tell you at that time for recreational activity, there was a basketball net in that area, and there was an active basketball game going on, so I'm going to assume at this point that he was involved in that game.
At the time of the escape, how many people were watching the monitors? And how many monitors are there?
For security reasons, I'm not going to develop how many monitors we have and how many people we have viewing it.
Does Cavalcante speak both English and Spanish? Or Portuguese?
Portuguese and some Spanish, very little English.
Oh my God. He doesn't even speak English.
What percentage of inmates at Chester County Prison speak only Portuguese or Spanish?
How many inmates speak only Portuguese or
I don't have
Spanish?
the breakdown of demographics as far as who speaks what language, and because we don't sector them off based on their language.
You
or what
don't?
languages they speak.
Is there a policy?
I don't know.
Cell phone use when guards are on duty? Are they allowed to have them out? Are they allowed to?
There are no cell phones allowed inside the prison area at all.
And as far as we were talking about that dome structure that you guys are planning on, when can we
Wake
see that
up.
actually in place?
So yesterday, we actually met with the contractors. It has been going to be forwarded to the commissioners for their review for possible acquisition and installation.
Was it not obvious that that should have been something in place?
I don't know.
So I really don't want to get into what should have happened prior to without me actually being in charge of that facility. So I can't really question as to why it was or wasn't there.
Had it come up in security assessments previously?
I'm not sure if that's true or not.
The map you're seeing is
I
the
wanna thank
jail
you all,
to where they were
and
searching.
again, we
This is
appreciate
it?
your help in getting this message
This
out,
is it?
keeping this front and center with the public. We need their support, and we appreciate your role in bringing that support. Thank you.
It's inappropriate.
I agree.
That's it? Wow. I've got a lot of thoughts on this. I'm sure you guys do too. I'm really quite speechless, to be honest. They set up those screens to play us, what, 2 seconds? Let's watch that video again, because I kind of didn't. I was moving the screen around when they played it. Let's watch this part again, okay? And then we'll talk. Supposedly he was playing basketball and this happened.
So the investigations are ongoing. I cannot comment on any individual investigation,
rid of
including
this
the internal
map.
investigations. With that, I'd like to turn it over back to Colonel Bivens. So, I'm not sure where.
I don't know what we're doing.
Do the video before you start.
Oh, we gotta play the video. Numbskulls. Total numbskulls. All right, there he is. See, look at that guy. Looks like he's watching for him. Oh my God. Look at him scale the wall. You're like, what's that dude doing? He gone. Wow. Hey, Trinda. He speaks very little English. Yes, we learned that. That's it. That's the video we got.
Thank you, Warden Holland. I'll go on with my update and again.
So I had no idea that this was a new warden. Apparently, the old one was fired. So now we have this guy who was on the job for 18 hours before coming into this. But what I was showing you guys was a map. I can't with this whole thing. I was like listening to them and I'm thinking of their search area. So I pulled up, they call it a state prison, but it's actually like a jail. So the state prison is right here. It's called the Chester County Prison. And I just wanted to give you guys, if you're not familiar with the area, which I am not, where they're searching and how far away this is. So if you see up there the Chester County Prison, it's an hour and 40-minute walk, 4.5 miles to the Longwood Gardens. And this is where they were searching for him. They caught him on the camera at Longwood Gardens. And then last night, they were over east of that. So I don't know why they keep saying he's going south unless they mean like he wants to get to Mexico. I'm not sure why they keep saying south because he clearly, I mean, he went south from the prison, but then he ended up over here in Chad's Ford, which is due east. Due east. And this is where they were searching for him on this creek road up here by Pocopson. So nothing about this shows south. So what's the dealio with that? Do you think? Because he went over to the east, to Chad's Ford. Hello, Paper Chaser. Hello, Mandy. So I'm not quite understanding what they're talking about. But if we zoom in to this map, and we go over where they were searching. This is Brandywine Creek. And this is the area that they were circling. And if you follow this creek south, you end up in Delaware. If you follow this creek, look at right here, you're at the Delaware state line. So if you follow this Brandywine Creek, see how it curves? I don't know if you guys can see that well, but the Brandywine Creek curves at the Pennsylvania-Delaware line. Right here. And see where it curves? Then you're in freaking Delaware. So if he follows that creek all the way down and then hops out here, he's in Delaware. And then you're in a whole nother state and a whole nother jurisdiction. Yikes. Yikes is all I got to say.
So is that a joint?
And I want to thank Kendi for her super sticker.
Or is it a
She
cigar?
said, buy these guys a clue. I agree. It's so close to the border. So how do we know that he's just not following that creek? He knew where he was going to go before he escaped. Like, he didn't just blindly leave, I don't think. I don't know. But it's not far to Delaware. So let's see where from Longwood Gardens to... Oh, there's no landmarks around here, but look at this. Look at all this water, you guys. They've got this temporarily closed. And we've got schools closed again. I mean, I don't know how far it is to the Delaware state line. That's what I want to find out. So let's go. I mean, it can't be more than an hour, right? Let's go to Thistle Lane. Thistle Lane. Whoops. Yes, we just got done with it. Thistle Lane, Frankfort, Delaware. That is not the right place. That is not correct. Okay, that's better. See, now you can see the state lines better. Can you guys... Oh, hold up. Let me resize this. See, now you can see the Pennsylvania-Delaware state line and how it kind of runs. But if you look up here where it says Chad's Ford, that's the area they were searching in. Oh, the presser is going to infuriate you. So if you'd miss the presser, I suggest that you rewind. Be kind of rewind and listen to it. Nick did a great job at the press conference. Let's see if Nick is live. Let's see if Nick is live. He was for the press conference. Listen to this. Listen to this. He says, I just spoke. Hold on. This is terrible, you guys. Okay, check this out. He says, I just spoke with the owner of Carco gas station, the previous command center for the Donelo Cavalcante manhunt. He says that authorities occupied his small business for 5 days but have not offered any reimbursement for the financial losses incurred. Despite the hardship, the owner emphasized that he's more concerned with community safety than receiving any compensation, a true testament to the spirit of the people in this area during challenging times. If you're a local, consider utilizing this gas station to help him recoup some of the loss. And then here's a video of the video. It's a lot clearer here. That dude's totally the lookout. What a joke. So where was the warden that day? Was he in training? I mean, what the hell? And they have to have cameras in the guard post outside. They have to have cameras there. This is bananas. You can see him on the left side of your screen. Up and out of sight, and then that guy's gone. And it happened that fast. That's him scaling the wall, and then he has like a lookout. What's up, Flo? That's just nuts. So I guess they need to find out what their guard was doing. Because that's quite messed up. Is he wearing a backpack? Let me see. I don't think so. I think he stole the backpack is what I heard. Yeah, he has something on his back, guys. He sure does. He sure does. So this guy is in those woods. Scaling trees and shit. No, he's got a bag on his back. Let me zoom in some more. Let me see if I can zoom in more. All right, here you go, guys. He definitely has a bag on his back. See, you can see it here. He left the prison with supplies. Who did he get that bag from? One-eyed Flo, I can do that. Where did he get the bag? No, it's not a shirt, it's a bag. And apparently they found this white t-shirt on the side of the road. He could have like a sweatshirt full of stuff, I guess. I don't know how long he's been here either in this country. Unbelievable. And I don't know what that door goes to that he's... See that door? It's got like glass. So what's that on the other side of that door? Kendi. But where did he get the bag from? Who helped him? Or whatever that is. It's tied around his neck, you think? Relevant? Yeah, it looks like it is. And now this guy has nothing to lose. Island Thrift says no, they're dad shoes. I don't know, but whatever he's doing, he was fully prepared for whatever he's doing. No, I thought he broke into 2 houses. He broke into 2 houses, so I thought maybe he stole a bag. I think he had 2 bags at one point. American Gladiator? Right, that's what I'm saying. So who gave him the bag? So who helped him? And the warden said, I don't know what happened. That's the visitor center on the other side? Oh my God. Yeah, it's really, really scary. So I would say if you're like in the vicinity of a couple hours from this, I would be aware for sure. And lock your doors and shiz. And that's the last update. All right, you guys. I'm out of here. We've got a premiere in 5 minutes. I will see you over on the premiere for our favorite sheriff. We're gonna go watch how sheriff work is done right now. It's the front part? Okay. Why couldn't someone see that? That's unbelievable. They need to get the old cops out of there. It's all a bunch of old guys. But let's go over to the premiere. Let's dance it out. We got 8 minutes before it starts. If you just stay put, it will take you right there. And we're going to go watch a real sheriff do his work. Grady Judd telling us about a father on meth that murdered his son in a very brutal way. So thank you guys for your support. Thanks for being here. We're going to keep our eye on this story probably this evening. We might have some movement again, and I'll be back. Let's roll the credits and dance it out. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a damn.
Roro causing Papa.
Roro. Who was Roro?
You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact.
Why are people such idiots?
I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying no shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I never call
One
you
Jennifer
back.
or two Jennifer?
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Bye, Jennifer.